Hi Aquarius, so this is your friendship reading. Keep in mind that this is a general reading and this will not resonate for every single Aquarius out there. Also, if you guys are interested in this channel and just want to know more about me and this channel, please look at the video that I posted under my thoughts. It's basically about what I want this channel to be and why I am making this channel and why I will be posting some of the stuff that I am posting. So if you guys are interested, please take a look at that video. Alright, let's get started. So Aquarius, as you can already tell, I already pulled some cards for you, wanting to kind of see where my Aquariuses are at when it comes to friends. And the first thing that happened when these cards flipped out is something that I have noticed. Is it looks like the rabbit and the dolphin are looking one way, but the raccoon is looking another way. The raccoon is looking forward. The first thing that dawned on me was, Aquarius, I think what has happened for you is you have learned to dim your light for other friends, which might be some of the ones that you're around. Seems like you're around somebody who, because if you look at both of them, they both look like they are almost looking at the past, but it's almost like they're reminiscing about the past or their focus is somewhere else and it's diverted away from you, but they both appear to be, oh goodness, I'm losing my voice. They both appear to be, again, like just looking in the same direction. But I felt like you're the raccoon, Aquarius. It almost seems like you have dulled your colors to blend in under their shadows. Because it almost seems like you're looking forward. You're trying to move forward in life. But it almost seems like you're doing it behind the scenes. Like maybe you're afraid to say something of what you're working on because you're afraid of how they're going to respond. Or it's just something like that, Aquarius. It just feels like you almost feel like these people have more to offer the world than you do. Because it almost looks like the raccoon is also kind of, because you are looking back. If you could tell, like his body is kind of hunched. It's almost like you're looking back and seeing these people, but they're going in a different direction. And it almost feels like you have to leave friends behind, or you have to leave certain thoughts and beliefs that you have about friends. It just feels like there's a sense of sadness, but there's also a sense of like, I'm just getting, Aquarius, that you almost feel like you're being left behind while your friends are off doing something else. It kind of feels that way. Because it just kind of seems like whoever you're dealing with, I feel like these are two separate energies, like maybe they're two people, but it seems like they have a lot going on, and it feels like you don't have as much going on, or you're just stuck in like depression or something. It almost feels like you feel left behind in a way, you know? But that's just kind of what I'm sensing so far. So let's pull some tarot and see if there is more to be said here. It feels very much so, though, like you're... For some of you guys, it really does seem like you don't know what direction you're going. But you see that everyone else seems to know where they're going or what they're going to be doing. And it makes you feel kind of useless in a way, but also just very much so. Like, there are some things that have maybe happened in your life, Aquarius, that has set you back. And because of that, you feel left out in a way. You feel like you're not quite ahead of the curve like everyone else, or you feel like everyone else has like surpassed you. It almost seems like you feel like you had to walk away from something, and it's like there's just a sense of sadness there. For some of you guys, maybe you know that your friends and you are going in separate directions. It just feels kind of like a sense of loneliness. So we have the Knight of Coins, the Queen of Swords, the Eight of Cups, the Four of Coins, the Ace of Wands, the Three of Wands, the Ten of Pentacles. Yeah, it just kind of feels, it's kind of interesting, Aquarius, because it almost seems like these two are almost like them, and then you're like that Eight of Cups, like that person walking away. For some of you, you feel like these people, like your friends or something like that, because for some of you, they might have actually moved away, like to go to college or to go to schooling or to get a new job or whatever that might be. But that might not be the case for everybody. But I'm also just kind of getting that, like, you're dealing with people who seem to have it, like they kind of know what direction they're going in, and you feel almost like left behind in a way, or you just feel like you're not at their level. I'm not really sensing anything like harsh or bad, like you're not wishing anybody bad, but it's just more like you're saddened because you feel like you don't have much to offer the world. That's just what it feels like. Like you're just newly starting the world, or you're older and you don't know what to do anymore and you feel like you've wasted your life. It's almost like something like that, where for some of you, you're teenagers to adults, like 20 to 30s, and you feel like you're still trying to figure yourself out, but you feel like everyone else around you is sure of themselves. And then there is the other way where you're a lot older, but your other friends are more successful than you or have more than you, and you almost feel almost like inadequate compared to these friends. It's like one's really witty and funny and quick on their feet and just seems to have a lot of talent. And then another friend seems to be kind of intelligent and it almost seems like reserved, and it has just that air of not mystery but just like wonder, kind of like this person just seems to really have it together, and you just feel washed out compared to them. It's like it's because you're holding on to it because there's something deep down inside. And I think it's because it goes back to childhood when you felt inadequate around certain people. People might have judged you harshly. I'm getting for some of you, maybe you had a parent or somebody like that, or a sibling or a family member that could have made fun of you in front of other people in public. And so you're so afraid of your image in a way, of how others might perceive you. And you feel like your friends just outshine you because in a way you almost feel small when it comes to people when dealing with them. But it's like you have an image or a picture in your mind of how you want not only your family to see you, but also how the world would see you. And it's not has to be egotistical, but like, because sometimes we have dreams and wishes and wants. Sometimes they're egotistical, but it's only because it's okay. The reason most of the time people say it's very egotistical to have these types of expectations or dreams about what it is that you really want to gain in this lifetime. The reason people might say that is because it's a shallow, deep down it's hollow because it's external from you. And because of that, the external is never going to make you happy. It's how you are internally is what's going to bring you happiness. So if it's an external thing and it's only really external and it's only to fulfill an emotional need internally, it will not suffice. It will not bring anything really good of it. You'll never be happy or satisfied. And so that's kind of what I'm feeling a little bit there, Aquarius, is it almost just feels like you have expectations of how you thought your life would go or how you want your life to go, and it feels like everybody else is making it happen but you aren't. And it's because deep down there's a core wound there that you think you're not good enough, you think you're not that you, in a way, you feel like you will never be seen for who you truly are because you hide yourself a lot. I feel like you really dim your light. You don't really want people to see the real you because that's scary. And it's like that defense mechanism you have when people get too close. You're almost prepared to fight. It's almost like it's like you can lash out at people, or you can really know how to like scare people off. It feels like it's almost like because there is something in your past that has caused a lot of pain, and I'm sensing a lot of it goes back to family, but it feels like there's something there that's causing a lot of my Aquariuses to shut down when it comes to social groups or public settings. Because it almost feels like when you're with your friends, you know, you're the more shyer one, or you're the more, and some of you might not be so necessarily shy, but you're more, you take the spotlight off of you. You don't like people noticing you because you're afraid that if they notice you too much, then they'll notice your flaws, or they'll notice little things about you, and that scares you because you nitpick at yourself. It feels like a very nitpicking energy. Okay. So, I was getting some things here, but I wanted to kind of clarify it here. So, what I was also getting from this was your friends appear very stable and put together, but they themselves have insecurities just as much as you do. And for some of you, you have a friend that could be a little bit nitpicky with you as well. And that could just be because they're intimidated by you. You have one friend who really loves the spotlight, and you have another friend who, and I'm sensing like, for some of you guys, it's, you're used to being not the center of attention because you could have had a parent that always had to be the center of attention. So if people would praise you at all in front of your parent, then your parent would take the credit for it or would try and make it about themselves. And so for a lot of my Aquariuses, you guys are really good listeners. You guys are really good at allowing others to shine because you're afraid of being judged, or you're afraid of all the responsibility that might put on you from others, because you feel like you have to live up to others' expectations of you because you had to live up to your parents' expectations, which was a lot, I felt like, for a child. And that's what I'm sensing. And it's also like one person is adjusting things in their life. They might have gotten a new house, or they might be moving, or just something's going on in one of your friends' life that they're having to take the time to really readjust their lives, and it's stressing them out. And for some of you guys, they're having to, like, they might be more withdrawn at the time as well. And that might like scare some of you guys because you have one friend who's kind of almost they're creating something with their life. You have another friend who is kind of scared because there's a lot of stuff going on in this person's life that they don't really know how to handle, or it just feels like there's things that like go on in their life and they complain a lot. I feel like your two friends might complain a lot while you might be more reserved on your complaints, because you don't want to burden other people with your problems. You don't want to show it, so you might put on a face, like a mask, and pretend that you're fine and try and be there for everyone else. But it's difficult because it's almost like you're trying to learn, but you're not like letting go of what you're supposed to learn something from this experience with your friends, and you're not doing it because it's almost like you're having a hard time letting go of how you feel when being around them, or how you feel when they trigger certain aspects of you that you have repressed. So now you're having to learn to let that go in order to actually grow and expand. And that takes a lot of effort, but it feels like you might have conflict with them at times, or you might argue with them at times because of that, because there's a lot there. For some of you, you might be dealing with somebody that could be unkind, or you can become very unkind with your friends when feeling pushed up against the wall. It feels like when you have no resources or nothing, when you feel like you have no energy to give, or when you feel like you have nothing to offer, you can be very unkind at times, because now you feel like you're being either taken advantage of, or you feel tired and drained. For some of you guys, you might have a friend that could be kind of a little bit of an energy vampire. But yeah, it feels like there's a lot going on underneath the surface, and it bothers you. So what is my Aquarius is going through? So what you're blocking, because it's interesting they both came out in the blocked position. What you are blocking, Aquarius, because you're not letting go of past pains and past traumas, and what exactly it is that you're supposed to be learning from this lesson, because I'm sensing that you guys already know deep down inside what I am talking about. If this is for you, you will know deep down what the core wound is. And you have to learn to pull that out. You have to weed it out, because what you are blocking here is not only you're blocking great fortune and sudden wealth. So we have two cards right there that just indicate wealth. And you're blocking yourself from really growing and expanding. It could be because you feel inadequate around others, like friends, but I'm sensing it's more than just, like, it's almost public. Like you're blocking how you respond to the public eye. It's like you're terrified of what coworkers might think of you, what friends might think of you, just like your external reality. You are so afraid of how that can, like, how others might perceive you, that you might be terrified of actually coming forward or actually just being your true self. And because you feel inadequate with talking to others, because you feel like you have to dim your light around others, that's why you all of a sudden, like, you just can't, you don't have the confidence to go out and really make something of yourself. And for some of you guys, you've been wanting to do a business, but you've been so afraid to do that because you feel inadequate around others. You don't feel like you'll ever be professional enough, so that's why you can't make it work. And because of that, you're missing, because of that, you are now blocking actual great abundance and fortune coming your way because of this. For others of you, it could just be how you can have riches in so many ways. It doesn't have to be financial. It can be wealth when it comes to your health, your friends, family, just all in all, feeling a lot better. Letting go of the burdens will really help with that. But you're needing to let go of the burdens that you're feeling when it comes to feeling inadequate and feeling like you're not enough. And your friends are kind of mirroring to you your feelings of self-worth. And because of that, it's causing you to want to retreat into the shadows, but really you need to step out into the light. So that's what I have for my Aquariuses. I hope you guys resonate with this, and I hope that this brings you guys some kind of help. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you. Bye.